Hello everyone, today, I'm here with a story about a famous killer back in 1888 in a far-sighted place from the cities back then in the East End of London in Whitechapel, England. The killer was said to be Jack the Ripper. Let's get straight into the video. How did he get this name? When the murders took an international buzz, the journalists would do anything to boost the public awareness. One of the journalists pretended to be the killer and signed a letter as Jack the Ripper. Since then, the name caught everyone's attention and now the killer was called Jack the Ripper. The beginning began when a lady named Mary Nicholas, who was a working woman in the streets, was found dead in the area on August 31st. Her throat had deep cuts and her abdomen was brutally slashed open. This wasn't the only murder that happened in that year. There were 11 cases of murders stretching from 1888 April to 1891 February, but, in the duration of 4 months, 5 inhumane murders were reported. The victims were Mary Nicholas, Catherine Eddowes, Annie Chapman, Mary Kelly. Strangely, all of these victims were working women on the streets and almost all of them were displayed with the same method of killing. This killer had some surgical knowledge. These 5 murders got the term canonical 5. The police could only find the accused if he left any material on the crime scene which could be tracked back to the owner, or if someone from the public saw the attacker and was able to give their description. The attacker seemed to know this and hence he planned the murders at night and at far places, far enough from the public. Nobody has been able to identify the culprit, although the police had many suspects. The Ripper case was never solved. The police and journalists received hundreds of letters. Some were hoaxes and others, useless. But there was this one letter called From Hell. This letter was sent along with half a human kidney to the chairman of Whitechapel, Mr. Lusk. The author of the letter said to have fried the other kidney and eaten the other half. This was the only letter that had some weight on it. Who were the suspects? Some said the Ripper was Whitechapel mortician named Robert Mann, who was the one to examine the bodies after they were found. Another suspect was Alice in Wonderland's novelist, Lewis Carroll, as he made anagrams of Jack the Ripper in his books. Other suspects were butchers, slaughterers, surgeons because of the mutilation manner. The most fitting suspect was Francis Tumblety, who came to England in 1888, just 2 months before the first canonical 5 murder happened. Very well. He got divorced when he found out that his wife was a prostitute. Did they catch him? No. He is still an unidentified killer and anyone who ever had this list evidence against him was found dead sooner or later. This is being more than 100 years ago, most of the evidences is contaminated and can't provide much clues. And hence, the Jack the Ripper's identity will never be known. I hope you guys liked this unsolved case of the Ripper. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Stay tuned.